Can we hug? We've both been tested. Ladies and gents, we are in the presence of sporting greatness. History has been made tonight by Ronnie O'Sullivan. Absolutely incredible. Your 6th world title, and now you are tied with Reardon and Davis. Amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I never really think about titles because when I was a kid, I never dreamed I'd be here. I just was playing for the fun of the game, and I still try and play for the fun of it. But to be here and I've had all them victories, and it's it's a dream, but it's kind of becoming a bit of a reality as well. So it's nice to be living your dream in that sort of way,
Your last title was 2013. Was there a spell during those years where you thought you might never get your hands on the Silver Lady again? Yeah, you can never say never, but there was a part of me that decided that, I probably didn't play enough, and I still probably don't play enough to justify winning, a tournament of this stature, because it's an endurance test, and if I'm not really an endurance type snooker player because I don't compete enough, but the lockdown gave me a chance to play on some decent, because I haven't even got a practice facility, believe it or not. So my friend installed a couple of tables in his office in London, so I was able to play on good tables for a change, which was great. And I come here feeling comfortable with my tools, really. So I had a half a chance. I never expected to win it, though, to be honest with you. Spoken with real modesty for a guy that's lifted it 5 times and now 6. Ronnie, there have been so many great achievements down the years. Your first Triple Crown triumph at the age of 17 in 1993, winning this one after a year off, 1,000 centuries, your 19th Triple Crown title when you won the UK in 2018. Where does this sit in the all-time performances of your career? It's got to be right there near the top, surely. Listen,
any world title you win's got to be up there. It's great to be able to win over the 17 days here. You come here, you've got to play a lot of solid shots and be solid in all departments. And even though I might not have felt I'd done that, I must have done, because these guys are too good on tour to give it to you. And I just want to say, as well for Kyren, he's a top player. He's improving all the time, and all that. He fell off the tour. He was always going to get back on the tour. When you've got that desire and that hunger and that belief in your ability, yeah, you might have to work in a bar for a bit. You might have to do bits and pieces, but deep down that fire is burning bright enough, so you actually get there in the end. And so he's a winner, and he will win this tournament one day. Not to put too much pressure on him, but he is a country mile above everybody else around his age, and he'll be the first to admit that he's always watching the Higginses, the Williamses, and the likes of them players, because he wants to raise that bar as well. So when someone's that student about their sport, that they're going to have plenty of good days as well. So his time's definitely going to come.
Beautifully said. All the pundits down in our studio in London are saying you are now unequivocally the greatest. 37 ranking titles. No one's won more Triple Crowns. Tying Hendry on 7, is it even a relevance? Are you happy to be with Steve on 6?
I'm happy to be on 1. I was happy to get 1 at one stage. 2 was great, and once I hit 4, I went, I can call myself like one of the greats, because all the greats seem to have done it. I look at John Higgins and go, he's a great, So if he's won it 4 times, that's what you've got to do to be a great. Probably put Mark Williams in there just about.
Well, he's won 3.
Yeah, but I'll put it at 4. So anything above 4, you got, you're in that sort of fantastic company, I suppose. But I think 30s. The way I look at it is though, like, it's with the records with Hendry, it's like if I've played more tournaments than him to get there, I think who got there first? I'm not sure, so you'll have to ask someone of the stats. But I'm always, if I've played 1,000 tournaments and he's only made 500 and I'm just about beating his records, then I'd rather have Stephen's CV, do you know what I mean? So you'll have to get your statistic book out for that. But I suppose my thing has been longevity. I go in and out of form, my mind can wander sometimes, but then I just get a little bit of a taste for it and think, come on, let's see if you still got it. And start to, try and have a go again, like I have done this tournament,
And just finally, a word for your fans. They have followed you for decades. This is a very difficult time for so many people. Yeah. Once again, they have turned out in great numbers. This has been a journey not just for you, but for everybody who supported you. And it must give you great pride that you've
given people something to focus on other than the virus over the last 17 days.
Yeah, well, listen, I want to thank my sponsors as well, Affinity. They've been fantastic, you know, and without their support, without 19.com support, you know, I wouldn't be able to put the hours in and sacrifice some of the things I have to sacrifice, because like Kyren says, we all need support. You know, we play snooker, but it's nice to have people around you that are able to support you through that, so as you can make it such a comfortable ride. And hopefully Affinity are going to try and create a wonderful app where they can sort me out the perfect cue action, because they're good at doing that stuff. So I've given them a task. I said, come on, create it so as I can, like, you know, get the perfect cue action, because, you know, as snooker players, that's all we want to do. That's all. Listen, when you put in 5 or 6 hours in a day, it's not because you like the sound of the balls hitting the back of the pocket. It's like, can I be hitting it straight enough so as when I come and play under pressure, it stands up? And that's why we put all the hours in, not because, you know, we'd rather be sitting there watching Match of the Day, to be honest, or watching you off, hanging off of some boat, interviewing someone while he's doing the rowing. You know?
Well, that was a long time ago, as was your first major triumph. 27 years of longevity, ladies and gentlemen. There is only one Ronnie O'Sullivan. And Ronnie, there is an old silver lady who's been waiting for a kiss for 7 years. Would you please raise the trophy? You are the 2020 Betfred World Snooker Champion.
Congratulations, Ronnie O'Sullivan. You are looking at one of the greatest sports stars this country has ever produced. No doubt about it. And he has fine television choice as well. He watches Match of the Day, JP.
Oh, man of my own heart. But we really should cherish him, to be honest with you. I mean, he's got fantastic longevity, but how many more years he'll go on for playing, I don't know. But it's a treat watching him play. When he plays properly, there's nobody quite like him.
I think he's the. I think it's officially the only player to have ever won in 3 separate decades. So he talks about his longevity, and he should be proud of that. That's such a tough thing to do. The standard ever improving, and he's still out there at the top. And I think he's capable of going even further, certainly into his 50s, should he so wish.
These are brilliant pictures, aren't they? 6 world titles, John.
Phenomenal achievement, and, you know, draws level with the man sitting next to me, which is no mean feat in itself. And he could carry. I mean, it's all down to him. If he wants to carry on and put the hours in and keep playing and competing, he could get up to Stephen's record, that's for sure, and win another one.
And we spoke about this during the tournament as well, didn't we, Steve and John, about the very fact that he's got to be up there with the greatest sports stars that have played the sports. And I was saying to you just a few weeks back, I did a radio interview just a few weeks before the Crucible started, and people were saying to me, where does watching Ronnie O'Sullivan rank with being pitch side at World Cup finals and Six Nations matches? And I said, right at the very top.
It's a treat to come to the Crucible and to come and see him play live. And when he's absolutely at it and at his best, there's nothing quite like it. And the fact he's so ambidextrous, I mean, he throws the cue over and plays shots left-handed other people couldn't play right-handed. I mean, that is just a scary amount of talent that he's got. And let's not forget, by the way, Jason, he's had to dig in as well here. He was 6-2 down to Mark Williams in one of the rounds, quarter-final. He was 16-14 down to Mark Selby. And as good as he is, that's how hard he had to work to win this.
And when he started smashing around that pink, we were thinking, is he on his way out?
Well, he came in with a game plan to play a fast attacking game, and it was a risky one, but it paid off in the end. Wouldn't it be nice to see him win Sports Personality of the Year? It's not been the best year for sport. Surely he's got to be up there in the nominations this year.
It's been severely disrupted, of course. And this is wonderful, isn't it? Because, you know, we were very anxious and worried, weren't we, John, about fans being in for the final. And how lovely to see Ronnie showing that trophy off to those fans who simply adore him.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you know, he does various interviews, and sometimes he says he's not bothered, and look at him there. Of course he's bothered. He wants to win. He wouldn't put the hours in the club if it didn't mean a lot to him. And to win it 6 times is one heck of an achievement.
He's more of a student of the game than you would ever think. You think he just goes out on the table, crash, bang, wallop. He studied the game, he studied his action, his technique, he's tried to work out the best ways to play the game. Even if when it goes wrong, OK, he sort of says, I don't care about it. He does. You don't stay in the game that long without absolutely loving the game of snooker and wanting to get the best out of yourself. Obviously, he's been through ups and downs from the psychological state, but he's always had snooker at the back of his mind, even if he's been up and down in the snooker world. He's always wanted to achieve perfection, and also tactically he's so wonderful as well.
And he's also box office as well, John, because without Ronnie O'Sullivan, one has to wonder about what World Snooker would do, because when he speaks, whether you like it or not, he makes the back pages.
Well, he does. I think he likes a bit of publicity now and again, which is sometimes is a little bit deliberate, but look, he's just the most watchable player we have in our sport.
Absolutely. OK, let's go to the Crucible. Radzi is with Alan.
Thank you, Jason. Very much the aftermath of what the rocket does to the Crucible. And Alan, I think Rob Walker put it best. There's only one Ronnie O'Sullivan.
There is talking about it just before the one frame we've seen this evening, and you're talking about how gifted he is and the little flip. We actually seen it in that one frame to finish off the way he did, in absolute style and class. He's just something else. I mean, 6 world titles, 20 triples, the list goes on and on. I can't even begin to tot up the numbers. He is a phenomenal snooker player. He's been doing it, as Rob Walker said, 27 years span of winning these things. I mean, it's incredible. And he's not done yet, not by a long shot.
So you made your debut in 1990. He was the class of 1992. When you first saw Ronnie O'Sullivan, was there something special even about him back then? Yeah,
he's got that. The first 2 or 3 shots I ever seen him hit, I thought, oh, he's pretty good, this lad. He's going to be, you know, I'd heard all the stories about him, and what we've seen, you know, what we've seen down the decades has just confirmed that. He is a one-off, talent-wise. I've been saying it for years. He's the best, the most gifted sportsman in the world, in my opinion. I'm biased, yes, I'm a snooker guy, but his talent is unbelievable.
What's incredible is his ability to get across the line, and he's done it time and time again. As Alan said, whether it's his Triple Crowns, whether it is indeed now his 6th world title, who knows, he might be after Stephen Hendry's title next.
Radzi and Alan, great work.